All right, so let's tackle one of the biggest challenges in AI right now. How in the world do you reliably test a conversational AI? I mean, behind that simple little chat box we all use, there's a massive amount of complexity. So today, we're going to break down a really practical blueprint from the team at Dropbox based on everything they learned building their AI tool, Dash. This is going to be good. Let's dive in. You know, this quote from the Dropbox team just nails the core problem, doesn't it? With these large language models, one tiny little change, something you think is totally harmless, can cause these huge, unpredictable ripples. The answer that was absolutely perfect yesterday could suddenly become a complete fabrication, hallucination, today. That is the razor's edge that these developers are walking on every single day. And this really shows you that contrast perfectly. To you, the user, it's just a text box. Couldn't be simpler. But what's happening behind the curtain is this whole complex chain of events. You've got intent classification, document retrieval, ranking, prompt construction. I mean, the list just goes on and on. And if you tweak any single link in that chain, the whole thing can just fall apart. And that's exactly why having a rock-solid evaluation system isn't just a nice-to-have, it is absolutely essential.
Okay, section 1, the foundation. This is all about getting the right data sets. So if you're going to build one of these systems, where do you even begin? Well, it all starts with the foundation, and that foundation is the data you use for testing. You simply can't know if your AI is improving or getting worse if you don't have a consistent, high-quality benchmark to test it against. The Dropbox team splits this into two big buckets. So on one side, you've got public datasets, stuff like natural questions or MS Marco. And these are great for setting a baseline, right? They test the fundamentals. But here's the thing. They are not enough. You also have to have internal datasets, which are built from anonymized logs of how your actual users are talking to your product, because that's where you capture all the messy, weird, unpredictable ways that real people ask questions, stuff that a clean public dataset would never have. And this is the ultimate goal, right here. The point isn't just to have a bunch of data. The point is to create a simulation, a little sandbox that mirrors the beautiful chaos of the real world. You want to capture all the weird phrasing, all the strange requests, everything that real people are actually going to throw at your product. All right, moving on to the next piece of this puzzle, the measurement tools. This is about defining metrics you can actually use. So you've got your data sets, you've built your little simulation of reality. Now, how do you score the AI's answers? How do you take that gut feeling of that's a good answer and turn it into a cold, hard number?
And this really is the million-dollar question, isn't it? What makes an AI answer good? Is it that it sounds fluent and human-like? Is it that it's factually correct? Or is it that it properly cites its sources? Well, the answer is it's all of the above. And that is exactly where the traditional ways of measuring this stuff just completely fall apart.
For years, the NLP world has used metrics like Rouge or BERT score. And look, they're fine for what they were built for, like seeing if two sentences are kind of similar. But just look at what they fail on. Source attribution, hallucination, faithfulness. I mean, these are the exact things that matter most if you want people to trust your AI. A high Rouge score tells you literally nothing about whether the AI is just making things up. So, what's the fix? Well, it's actually kind of beautiful and a little meta. You use an LLM to judge another LLM. It turns out that if you give a powerful model a really clear, really structured rubric, like a scorecard, it becomes incredibly good at grading all the subtle, nuanced parts of another AI's answer. It's like hiring a super fast, super consistent expert to be your judge.
And the real power here is just how specific you can get. This LLM judge isn't just giving a thumbs up or thumbs down. It's working through a detailed checklist. It's asking, did the answer actually address the query? Are the facts in this answer supported by the source documents? Is every single claim cited correctly? These are the critical questions that the old metrics just couldn't even begin to touch.
Okay, so we've got our data sets. We've got our super smart LLM judge. Now for the most important part, putting it all together. This section is the factory floor, all about automating the system from development all the way to production. And the core principle here is a huge mindset shift. Your AI prompts, your model settings, these aren't just little text files you fiddle with. They are code. And just like any other piece of critical code, they have to be version controlled, they have to be tested, and they absolutely have to pass automated checks before they ever see the light of day. Dropbox built this out using a cool system they call layered gates.
The best way to think about it is like a series of quality checkpoints, and each one gets a little bit tougher. So first up is the merge gate. Anytime a developer submits a change, it automatically runs about 150 of the most critical tests. Past that, and you move to the stage gate, which is harder, bigger datasets, stricter scoring. And finally, there's the production gate, which is constantly sampling live user traffic to catch those sneaky issues that only show up at scale.
And this gives you a really concrete look at how that first gate works. So a developer opens a pull request. Immediately, a GitHub action fires off. It runs those 150 core queries and gives back a pass/fail score in under 10 minutes. And here's the kicker. If a key metric drops, say the citation accuracy goes down, the system automatically blocks the change. Period. There's no debate. The data has spoken.
Now, with all this incredible automation, you might think you can just set it and forget it. But, and this is so important, you can't take humans completely out of the loop. For every release, Dropbox engineers still manually review about 5 to 10% of the automated test results. This lets them spot weird edge cases the AI judge might have missed, and maybe more importantly, it helps them make sure their judges are actually judging correctly. You gotta grade the graders, you know? So that brings us to our final, and maybe the most important part of this whole blueprint. We're talking about the mindset shift. Because this isn't just about tools and automation, it's about fundamentally changing the culture of how a team builds software. For any of this to actually work, evaluation cannot be some other team's problem. You can't just toss it over the wall to QA at the very end. No, it has to be deeply embedded in every single engineer's workflow. They have to own the quality of their changes, and this entire system is what gives them the tools to actually do that effectively.
So let's just quickly recap the big lessons learned here. Number 1, prompts are code. Treat them with that same level of respect. Number 2, your judges need judging. Always be testing and calibrating your evaluation models. Number 3, data beats debate. Every time. When you have a shared dashboard with real numbers, all those subjective, I think it's better, arguments just melt away. And finally, culture is the whole ballgame. None of this works unless everyone feels a sense of ownership over quality.
I really love this last thought from the Dropbox team. The whole point of building a system like this isn't just to be defensive, not just to catch mistakes. A truly great evaluation system stops being a simple guardrail and actually becomes the engine that pushes the product forward, making it better, more reliable, and more innovative. And so that's the final question to really think about. For anyone out there building with AI today, it's worth taking a hard look at your own process and asking, is your evaluation system just a safety net, or have you truly built it into an engine that's actively making your product smarter and more dependable with every single change you make?